Hello and welcome to the Daily WIP, the show where we discover everyone is becoming a media company. On the show today we talk about iteration. A large thing that we were talking about the other day when we did our lunch and learn with a whole lot of brands was reducing the fear of putting stuff out into the market by knowing that you can iterate on it. And this is a huge thing, is that so many brands hold themselves back from putting themselves in videos, by putting personal work out there, by like showing their heart on their sleeve and being honest and real and authentic, because they're afraid of looking stupid, or they're afraid of their content's going to look bad, or they're going to make their company look bad, or somebody's going to laugh at them, or something or other. And so what I want to talk about today is iteration, and the concept of iteration, that when you iterate on something, you learn from what was good and bad about it, and you take it to the next step. You take what was good, you learn from what didn't work, and you make the next version. And you go step after step after step after step, and you get better and better and better. Chief of Sales here, Eric, has got this great statement, which is everything is a game of inches. You don't win by one giant leap, you just win by a step. And I think that's a great way of thinking. You win by a game of inches. And so when we think about content, the fear comes from having to be perfect. Perfection is paralysis. Perfection is the enemy of done. And perfection is the element of good enough. Again, one of Eric's statements, which I think holds everyone back, and it holds them back from being what they can be. So if you think about iteration, it reduces the fear, it enables you to put things out there quicker and get true feedback and then take it to the next step. Again, this vlog, for a perfect example, we're up to episode 22 today. And on episode 1, I was super nervous about being in front of the camera. I had to go and shoot it by myself in a spare room, which of course I'm doing again now, but I've got a whole lot of people watching me over there. And then you have the thing of, is my camera going to be good enough? Am I going to look stupid? Am I worthy enough to say anything to people? Is everyone going to ignore me? Do people think I'm stupid? So you have all these things. And then you go, well, if I'm just going to iterate on this, if by 100 episodes, if by episode 100, I'm thinking I'm going to be good, and this show's going to be good, and you're going to be interested, and we will have nailed the vision and the storytelling, and you will have met all of the team properly, and you would have talked to all of our partners and all of our brand customers and creative customers, and you will get the value that we're trying to create because we will have figured it out through 100 episodes. That's 100 iterations, right? It's a game of 100 inches where you finally get there. Then you go, well, that's fine. But that first step was me being scared of being in front of the camera and doing anything, and so that was holding me back from even doing it. Can you imagine? It was almost 2 years of not doing a daily vlog until we actually finally did one, where I was thinking about it. And then I was just like, let's just do it. Let's just get something out the door. Shoot it on my phone, no microphone, on a weird like stick wand thing, put on a weird accent. My partner thought I was trying to sound like someone else, and it's kind of true. All those things, right? So then iteration reduces that anxiety and that fear, because you know that the first thing you make doesn't have to be any good. It just has to be good enough, as Eric says. And you have to get it out the door and learn from it and do the next one. So you'll see, if you go back right to the start of the series and you look at episode 1, which is after episode 0, which is the worst one, you will see we instantly update the camera, update the microphone, change where we're doing it, change the lighting, all of just episode 1. And then by the next episodes, you've got a whole lot more stuff being learned. And now here we are on episode 22, new camera, new microphone, editing on a new computer, getting people in the team involved who would never have been involved before, having a great old time. So iteration reduces the fear, means you get your shit done and you put it out there. Next up, I want to talk to Jimmy about iteration in software, and you can learn why we iterate so heavily in our Whipster product, because of taking it to the next level and only doing the little bit to learn and then take it to the next step. So let's talk to Jimmy about iteration, and you'll see what I mean. I'm joined here by Jimmy, a senior developer here at Whipster, to explain more about this concept of iteration and why iteration is important. So you've been working on this new feature at Whipster. It's about helping people come to the end of a review cycle.
We want to add a button that reviewers can click and will say that they're finished commenting. They haven't approved yet. The idea was to just as simple as put a button on the screen that will send a Slack notification or desktop notification to the person who uploaded it or the team that uploaded it, and then they will know, okay, I'll go and gather the comments and work on the next version. So as you know, we've got a beta channel on Slack that we discuss things with our beta users, and often, you know, they'll come up with something that's bugging them, and, you know, we'll say, okay, well, you know, tell us more about the problem and stuff like that, and then other people might chime in and say that'd be a good idea, and we'll also gather feedback about this idea from, you know, support tickets and other bits and pieces. And then if we kind of think it's kind of, you know, there could be something viable there, then we sort of look at building a really quick concept of the feature that we can get out like sort of half a day and put it in front of our users and get them using it, so that we can get feedback quickly on, you know, what if it's good or not, or is what they imagined or whatever. Our users want features, they want, you know, stars flying in and out of the screen and floating boxes everywhere, but, you know, until we like put the concepts in front of them, we know that for sure, so it's much better to start that way rather than just spend 3 months building it out and then wasting your time.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. That was awesome. And if you take all of the learnings from that, from software, from iteration, from putting things in front of people, if you take all of that and then plump that on top of content, video making, podcast making, design, doing a daily Instagram image, posters, everything. If you think about all that stuff that you as a brand want to create, and you go, today we're going to create the first worst version of all of that stuff. We're going to put it in front of some people, we're going to get their feedback, and then the next version is going to be better. We're going to delete what didn't work, we're going to keep what worked, and we're going to learn what we need to do next. Try a next level of experiment. And also the other thing that you'll learn there is that it's actually really fun to iterate. It's really fun to reduce the anxiety of performance, of we've got to be perfect in front of the audience, and just start putting stuff out there, start to get feedback, and you'll start to feel that you're inside a network. And the more you produce, the better you get at it, the more they want to see of it, and it's this virtuous circle going up and up and up. And so that's what Jimmy has with software and the whole software team out there. That's what they have. They keep putting the smallest possible in front of people, learning what's wrong, learning what's right, changing slightly, push, and then this beautiful product is ready for prime time. It's put out into the market, and then the next one is built. So, brands, iteration, reduce the fear, get stuff in front of people, iterate. It's a game of inches. Good enough is better than not done. Perfection is the enemy of everything. See you tomorrow.